I don't know about you guys, but that was pretty damn good. That's what I thought about that shit. So, anyways, good to be here, back with you. Well, not with you because we're on the internet, but you know what I mean. With me watching myself, watching you watch me be by myself in outer space. And don't mind the dissolution of the fourth wall, or breaking the wall, as it's referred to in the biz, which may or may not currently be occurring on this stream. If you're feeling like we're transitioning or fading, or fading between worlds or realities or realms or interdimensional dimensionalities, just ignore that feeling. You're wrong. It's not happening. Why? Green screen, why? There we go. See, if you get angry, sometimes it's just like having to kick, the refrigerator or a washing machine, or your car won't start. Well, that never works, kicking the car if it doesn't start. But it's like the washing machine analogy, metaphor. And then I fucked it up again. It's the moment you do the hand gestures. It's the moment you do the hand gestures. It gets all crazy. It becomes very Seinfeld up in here very quickly. Thank you very much for joining me. Who are you? Who's the man in the hood? I'm wearing the hood for privacy reasons, for anonymity, anemone reasons. Sorry, I recently watched Finding Nemo. Let's get into it. Basically, I'm a person on Earth who talks into a microphone. Fiend. Thank you. I'm an actor, comedian, performer, entertainer, a bit of an independent researcher of history and folklore, if I do say so myself. A bit of the mysteries and paranormal accounts of the world I find very interesting and worth serious study and research and whatnot. So I spend much of my day doing such things and looking into such things. And I myself have had some very extraordinary personal experiences as well, life experiences that have convinced me that we don't fully understand this world, this realm, this earthly earth that we inhabit. We don't fully understand it, we can't fully comprehend it, and perhaps even more importantly, nature itself, perhaps more importantly, that nature itself contains things of which we could hardly hope to understand. It's simply beyond human comprehension, capabilities of our drastically dull and limited minds and intellects. It's a problem. So, long story short, I like to look into stuff. I like to do funny characters, accents. I grew up acting, entertaining, not Jewing jokes. Oh, this is not a Kanye West. Calm down, okay? Put your tits back in your pants, people, okay? And I keep breaking the fourth wall. I'm sorry about that. Look, it's technical difficulties. What do you want from me? I'm a one-man operation. I'm a one-man show, okay? I'm a one-woman show here. Okay, what more can we do? So you're watching Schizophrenia Live. Welcome back to Schizophrenia Live. Sorry, Jack Nicholson couldn't make it, but don't worry, me, myself, and I are here. I feel like this is Alex Jones before his broadcasts in the morning. No, I'm just kidding. Welcome back. Welcome back to InfoWars. I'm your host, Alex Jones. Today we will be talking about why the frogs are gay. And then he ended up being right about that. And then, and then they vilified him for the Sandy Hook shit. And now if you ever watched him, you're a Nazi. That's how that works. You're a Nazi now. And what does he have to do? Is to pay $4 trillion in back taxes or some shit for... Oh, because the Sandy Hook parents are upset. Hey, no, not the Sandy Hook parents being upset. It's the last thing we would quite possibly want. Of all the things that have occurred in the last 10 years, nay, not even in the last decade, but, out of all the things that have occurred in the last few years, since the big 2019, since the big 2019 year, which we all hopefully can remember what happened that year. There's a whole list of villains I wish they could have dealt with, other than Alex Jones, that are more important than Alex Jones. And then to even go after Alex Jones at all to begin with is terrifying, because if they can go after people like him, Kanye's a different situation, because Kanye believes the things Kanye's been saying he believes, right? But Jones is pretty, if you're level-headed at all and watch his take, regardless of maybe exactly what you think of him, I think it's fair to say the guy isn't into, any of the quote-unquote, like, Nazi beliefs or whatever. He's pretty anti-Nazi. And, sorry, I keep burping. But he's pretty, like he even says in the show, he's pretty pro-America. Gosh, damn. Sorry, I have this esophagus problem. A little behind-the-scenes footage on here for you. You're insane. Hello and welcome back to Schizophrenia Live. I'm your host, Alex Jones. Good to be here. Thanks for joining me. No, I have a lot of respect for that guy, because I think for as much shit as he's had to deal with, and he's been wrong about some stuff, and I don't agree with his whole shtick. But it's hilarious that even just me saying what I'm saying right now, if you said it to most people, they'd flip the frick out for whatever reason, which is funny to me, because it's like, he's just another news source, or another voice in the news or information ether. I get my news and information from, at least I would say, regularly, at least like 5 or 7 different places, but it often grows to a lot of other places. So before you start going, oh, you listen to InfoWars, how good, calm your tits, okay? There's this thing that people, believe it or not, it's very possible to do, where you listen to a program and you don't agree with it in its entirety, but you're thinking while you're listening to it, and you're analyzing what they're saying, and you're going, I disagree with that, or I agree with this, or let me see the info on that, and then you go look that up. See, that's the shit I do, no matter who I'm listening to. Podcasters, comedians, news people who claim to be journalists, but let's be honest, journalism is dead, because all the good journalists are dead or being held against their will in some black site prison by the CIA. Wink, wink, Julian Assange, wink, wink. You know what I mean? So, like, before you start coming at me with all your bullshit about all that, just kindly fuck off, okay? But yeah, the shit, point being, they try to find him, what is it, $1 trillion, $2 trillion, some insane, impossible number, or $1 billion, whatever. Well, first of all, effectively, if you can do that, that means you can go after anybody, period. In other words, the First Amendment isn't real, or is no longer being upheld, which isn't anything new. That's a huge thing in American culture and politics and whatnot, and media landscape. But yeah, regardless of what you think of the guy, or even if it was another person in question, it's insane that can be done in America of all places, and that's being cheered on is insane, especially when you think of CNN, the New York Times, Fox News even, because I hate all mainstream news, no matter what it pretends to be, left, right, up, down, or whatever. It's all New World Order bullshit at the end of the day, and if you speak out against any of it, you're supposed to be, you're a right-wing Nazi, you're insane, you're a bigot, you hate everybody. Well, you're right about that last point. I do hate everybody, and I guess I am a little crazy, a little insane, but it doesn't mean that I'm not right. You know what I mean? So, and it doesn't mean I'm a bigot, and it doesn't mean that I'm a bad person or immoral or whatever, because I don't subscribe to your worldview, your philosophies, okay? Which, by the way, your philosophies are actually very, very new. I subscribe to the more traditional, ancient, wiser philosophies, if you will, even though I'm an independent thinker. I'm not one of you, bug people who, are all about destroying all the history that came before you, and throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Which is why I'm not a reactionary. Which is why I don't listen to somebody go, oh, well, okay, I'll be honest. I'll probably judge you a little bit if you listen to mainstream news nowadays. But point being, in general, I don't go, oh, you listen to that network. Oh, you're too stupid. You're probably just drinking up that network's bullshit. That propaganda, aren't you? Yeah, well, that's what most people do anyways, but it just is annoying because I've had people in my personal life claim that about me with all kinds of shit. Oh, you get all your theories from YouTube or InfoWars or Alex Jones or whoever, It's like, no, I get my theories from research, years of research, reading books, digging into evidence. I'm just a dude, and yeah, I don't get paid to do this, so sure, I'm an amateur in that regard, but I don't think I'm wrong. I'm on to something here. Everything I've looked into and dug into when it comes to the UFO phenomenon, or just the general story of history and the lost history and alternative history, elements of history, it's pretty convincing. We don't have all the cards, and anybody who's intelligent or sane enough to recognize it will, I think, agree with me that we have like a thimbleful of information at the end of the day, and then there's so much stuff that's in question. In history and religion and all kinds of things. So it gets complicated very quickly. And by religion, of course, I mean organized religion, not, if you will, more genuine spiritual practices or genuine religious practices. I'm talking about the political structure, the bureaucracy of mankind's institutions, that all of them are corrupted, and it's inevitable for all of them to be corrupted. And even if something new comes along, a new company, a new brand, a new media company. Vice is a great example of this. It eventually will be bought up and eaten up, and its soul sold to the devil by demons, essentially. And that's just what happens. You create something successful. The rich rulers of humanity are going to try to buy it or steal it from you or make you go out of the business, and then they'll clone your technology or your product or your business model, and then they'll do it. So that's the world we live in. Lots of corruption, lots of bullshit everywhere you look. It's nothing new under the sun. It's the same shit, different century, but it's the same shit over and over and over and over again. So, it is what it is.